Lately I've been making quite a few tool videos, but today I'm going to make something just a little bit more important. My daughter Jess needs a desk for her bedroom. There isn't enough space for a permanent desk, being such a small room, so it'll have to be a fold down one. I thought about making it scrapwood challenge, but really it needs to be made out of plywood. I did think about using form ply, that can look very good, but I think it was a bit dark for a girl's bedroom. So I am going to add some laminate to some of the faces after, just to add some colour. I've just clamped this together to make sure it all works as intended, then I'll start putting it together with floating tenons. The one side of the desk will be laminated, and originally I was going to cut out where the hinges are fixed and put the laminate on afterwards. I realised that would be difficult to do a good job, so I've thought better of it. Now I'll take a bit more out of the mortise in the hinge to allow for the thickness of the laminate and fix the hinge after the desk has been laminated. I'm going to make a couple of recesses for pens and bits and bobs, and I'm just trying out different positions here, and as my daughter's right-handed, I've decided to put them on the bottom left-hand corner. I haven't used the mortise yet to make a mortise in the centre of a panel, and I think the method I'm about to try should work, but I don't know for sure until I try it. What I've done is I've marked lines on the side to represent the height of the cutter from the bottom, and that's what these blocks are. They're to help me clamp this guide down. So now I can put the mortise up against that guide and make the cutter, and also I've put a mark underneath which represents the centre of the cut for the mortise. So if I line that up there, that should work, so let's give it a go. As well as being a handy drawer to keep your pens, rulers, anything like that in, it has second purpose, and that's to wedge underneath this shelf here and keep the desk level. If we want to incline the desk for drawing maybe, then we can push that back onto that shelf behind and the desk can incline a little bit. The problem I'm having, and I expected it, is it's binding a little bit, being so long on the sides, but it's not a very good fit. That was on purpose because I'm going to put a piece of laminate either side to help it slide, and when it's a better fit I think that may work better. I'm also going to laminate the underneath, and I was always going to laminate the front as well. Laminating the drawer was an improvement, but it still didn't work good enough, so then I used this drawer just to try different things out. And what I did do is I put a hole either end to do with two hands, and that works perfectly well. But the only problem with that is you have to use your body or your leg to just take a little bit of weight off the desk, where if you could do it one-handed you could use your other hand to do that. The other thing I tried was chopping the drawer in half and having two different drawers, and that works okay as well, but the only problem with that is there's nothing to keep them aligned and they end up all over the place, so I wasn't happy with that. So then what I did come up with, I'll move that one out, I've remade the drawer, and I put a slot on the underneath of this shelf here, and a little runner on the top there, and that just keeps it aligned enough that you can do it with one hand. It's taken a bit of trial and error, but I reckon that's done the trick, and I made the drawers for the middle shelf off camera, as it was pretty much the same method as the other drawer. With the desk in the right position, I've got the edge level with the top of the cabinet, and now I'm marking around the hinges so I know exactly where to glue them on. There's no way the hinge will stick to the laminate, so I'm drilling a piece of the laminate out and then using epoxy that will give the hinge something to stick to. In its closed position, the opposite side of the desk can be used as an easel, so I've made a little shelf to keep the tools on. I'm installing it with 4 screws. The 2 on the right are straight in the studs, and the 2 on the left I'm using these plasterboard fixings, but I reckon it should be plenty strong. I reckon it turned out great and Jess loves it. It wasn't easy to figure out, even though it looks simple enough. Every dimension affects the next piece, and for it to work correctly everything had to be just right. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.